Going live. I got moonshine for a crappy day, and it's cold outside, so I've got rent to pay. I guess you might say, what would make me live this way? My world, my world, my world. Talking about my world, my world, my world. My world's on fire, so how about yours? If you don't stand on your own, they'll have you on all fours. Another day, another dollar, head above the water. Sink or swim, think again, headed for the slaughter. You rather be the martyr or the man that ties the noose? Doesn't matter either way, you ain't got the right to choose. You gotta buy the shoes that Jimmy choose, the swoosh. Spend the buckaroos, fucking goof. Still a douche if you don't think that we can't see you. You ain't all that act is see-through. But what's that? Cut back, they're flying off the shelves, begging for some help while we fight amongst ourselves. Blaming someone else for that shit that we do. We ain't all that, our act is see-through. So pass that joint and hit that smoke. We're past that point, the system's broke. The shit's a joke, waiting for the punchline. Paycheck to paycheck, slop trough at lunchtime. Another day, another dollar. Another day, and another day, and another day. I got moonshine for a crappy day, and it's cold outside, so I've got rent to pay. I guess you might say, what would make me live this way? My world, my world, my world. Talking about my world, my world, my world. My world's on fire, so how about yours? If you don't stand on your own, they'll have you on all fours. I'm running in circles, jumping their hurdles. They use you up, bruise you up, bludgeon and purple. And everybody's angry at everyone else, quick to point their fingers, just not at themselves. I'm so sick of sickos and all their sycophants. Fuck world domination, I got bigger plans. Let the liquor splash, have a goddamn beer bash. Take the edge off on his dead-end career path. What you don't know, they say can't hurt you. They all gang up and call it virtue. Play you like pawns, mobs turn to monsters. They Ponzi scheme your moms and ate prawns and lobsters. What you don't know, gon' make them billions. You try to make a living while they making a killing. So scrounge that cash, I'm your gun for hire. Follow me, guarantee we burn this dumpster fire. My world, my world, my world. Talking about my world, my world, my world. My world's on fire, so how about yours? If you don't stand on your own, they'll have you on all fours. My world keeps burning away.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. CT says Bobby Christina Brown came to you in a dream. Oh, no. Oh, no. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm just chilling at the house, and I thought maybe I should get online and hang with my favorite people in the entire world, the internet. I happen to adore the internet. I got some bullshit. If you guys want to watch some bullshit with me, where's the crab boil mukbang? That would have been a good idea. That would have been a pretty good idea. I was hungry, and I got a fucking Krabby Patty from Wendy's. You don't need to get one. It's nothing special. Drake Drag says, which track is this? I haven't gotten to it yet. It's the final track on the album God Complex, My World. Revolting Machine. I do not think I'm going to see Terrifier 3. I haven't seen Terrifier 1 or 2. I did see a recap of Terrifier 1, I believe. It's just not my bag, baby. The Krabby Patty is just a Dave single with different sauce. I didn't get no fries. I didn't want no fries. I just was like, I want to try it. Maybe it's the best thing ever. And it was like, oh, this is a Dave single with God, I want to know what the sauce tasted like. To be honest with you, I should have just been like, can I get some of the sauce? I needed to know what made it special. And as I was eating, I was like, I don't know. I don't know what makes it special. I don't know. I didn't get the fucking pineapple frosty. There was no reason for me to get pineapple frosty because I know what it fucking tastes like, pineapple and frosty. But that sauce, I watched reviews and nobody was telling me what the sauce tasted like. All the reviews were like, oh, the burger's not as good as the frosty. Well, it's got the sauce on it, but nobody would explain the sauce. I was freaking out, man. I think it was probably Thousand Island or something. I don't even know, though. I don't even know. The Grimace Shake was cracking. A big fan of the Grimace Shake, actually. Was it less underwhelming than the Travis Scott meal? Wasn't the Travis Scott meal just like some nuggets and a quarter pounder or something? I don't even know. You guys see Kamala's comedy tour? This is I haven't watched this video yet, but supposedly Kamala is on a comedy tour.
Hurricane Milton is rapidly intensifying. Residents have been told if they stay in evacuation areas, they will die.
Anybody right now in Florida? You guys doing okay? It's pretty scary down there. It should have been a sponge sauce. Tell me about it. Yeah, the SpongeBob sauce should have been legit sponge. The bread should have been sponge cake. Why are they fucking with us on this Krabby Patty? Well, that's not what a Krabby Patty looks like in the cartoon. I don't know, man. It was rather underwhelming.
Hurricane Helene has left entire towns totally decimated. But in the middle of these two major events, Vice President Harris is not at the White House. We don't see her at FEMA headquarters either. She's not doing briefings. She's not visiting hard-hit areas right now. Instead, she's taping podcasts.
Whoa. Are you telling me I should be visiting hard-hitting areas right now instead of doing this podcast? Shit. I didn't think about that. I could have been visiting hard-hitting areas. Damn it.
Some would call it a comedy tour. Getting ready to laugh it up on late night television this evening, and she just sat down with the women of The View.
Please welcome back
Whoopi Goldberg. I like Whoopi Goldberg. I can't remember why, but I know I do. I don't think it was from the movie Ghost. I don't remember why I like, but I do like Whoopi, right? I've seen some of her stand-up. Do we like Whoopi Goldberg? I don't like her from The View.
the next president of the United States.
She said the next president of the United States. They're calling it. See, actually, Sister Act, The Color Purple. Sister Act was fucking dope. Even Sister Act 2 was good. I low-key wish they would have made it a trilogy. They needed a third Sister Act. It's a pretty good entrance song. I need freedom too. Whose song is this?
It's wonderful to see you.
It's wonderful to see
And look at how
all of
we're all
you.
dressed so.
Yes.
Well, most of us.
We do not like Joy Behar. Do we like Joy Behar? What do you guys think? Do you like Joy Behar? I do not like Joy Behar.
So we had the second deadliest hurricane to ravage the Southeast in 55 years, and it took her 4 days to get to a FEMA briefing. Now you have this huge storm brewing off the Gulf Coast, and she decides to go on a comedy tour. It's not just The View, it's Howard Stern today, it's Stephen Colbert tonight. Her running mate was on late night comedy last night. Kennedy, if you're someone who's packing up your boxes, you're laying out sandbags, you're stuck in traffic trying to get the heck out of this area and evacuate, and you turn on your radio or you turn on your TV and you hear this, I want you to tell me what you think.
I went to work out and I had on cooking shows and they were asking me, Auntie, what's that ingredient? What's that ingredient? And they're playing while I'm working out. Make breakfast. We sit down. We're having breakfast. And we.
CT says Joy Behar is the oldest lady I would bang. You think she's? Oh man. I didn't need to hear that today. Yeah, Fox is acting like Kamala is the president, or also that Kamala is going to be able to, like, Kamala's presence is going to help build dams. I don't know what Kamala is going to do. Honestly, if my house just got hit by a fucking hurricane, unless Kamala is coming to bring me big old stack of fucking pancakes, no, I probably want kebabs. Bring me some kebabs.
Been working on a puzzle, so they wanted more bacon, got more bacon. You know how it goes. Yeah. And so
bring me more bacon, Kamala. I'm so mad. I'm nowhere near the hurricane. If anybody right now is near the hurricane, let me know how it's going in your area. I'm like highly worried. I got buddies out there that are worried their power is going to be out for a long time. Hopefully not worse.
Then we had a puzzle, so we went back up to work on the puzzle. I'm still in my workout clothes.
Right.
And we're working on the puzzle.
Yeah, Kamala, why aren't you at fucking North Carolina handing out whole chickens in a can? Good call, Seth Looks. We eat whole chickens in a can.
And the phone rings.
Right.
So I said, Auntie, you'll be right back. Meanwhile, I went back into the room where the girls were, and I'm like, go get your father. Because I knew he'd be up somewhere. And so we laughed afterwards. Nick is their father. We laughed that Amara, the elder one, was kind of like Paul Revere, and Leela, the younger one, was Paul Revere's horse.
Did they cut this out of context? I don't get the joke. Did she call her niece a horse? I guess that's funny. What's the deal? Nonsense. I don't even know. What's the deal with Kamala's comedy tour? It's not even, I don't get the joke.
You know, Kennedy, she did address the hurricane, and that was her talking about becoming the Democratic nominee, but that seems wholly tone deaf as a hurricane approaches.
Yeah, what an unserious buffoon. You know, I look at that exchange.
An unserious buffoon. Kennedy used to be rock and roll. What the fuck are you now? You're not even the coolest Kennedy on Fox News. It goes to fucking Robert Kennedy Jr. I got the voice. I'm Robert Kennedy Jr. I can't do a good impression of his voice.
So glad there's so much for you to laugh at when people are really suffering. People were suffering before these storms. This was the last thing.
Those glasses are too much.
These communities needed. And, you know, she's out there jaw-jacking with the clowns at The View. How does...
Jaw-jacking with the clowns at The View? She should be jaw-jacking with Kennedy on Fox News.
Does that make anything better? So then she sits down for a serious interview with 60 Minutes and cannot answer basic questions.
I got bad news. Like, Kamala's running for president right now. She's supposed to be doing this stuff. Maybe it would be a great PR move for her to go do that, but I don't know. Like, she's also supposed to be on outlets like this. Trump was just on Theo Von a couple weeks ago. This is what they're supposed to do when they run for president.
All she can do is serve up word salads and sloppy.
Okay, RT says forehead babe with the glasses is hot. I wasn't gonna call out her forehead. But yeah, she's got something going on there. I don't think she's hot. I never thought she was hot. I used to think she was cool when I was a kid. When she was on MTV VJ, I was like, oh, that's Kennedy. Kennedy's cool. But she wasn't as cool as downtown Julie Brown.
Joes, while people are literally
And she sure as fuck wasn't as cool as Matt Pinfield.
starving in parts of the country that she cannot be bothered to address.
You know, Emily, Biden canceled his international trip, and good for him for doing that. That was a great decision.
Biden probably canceled his international trip because he was tired and cranky and wanted to stay home and eat ice cream.
If I were on Kamala's team, I'd say you do FEMA briefings every single morning. You can go to a swing state at night, but I want to see you addressing the nation every morning from FEMA.
And here's the thing. If she needed that amplification,
I wonder if these news anchors would ever give Kamala credit if Kamala did something good. Like that's not what Fox News is ever going to do, right? They're always going to critique Kamala for what she does negatively.
then that's what she should be using it for, to disseminate that information.
Right.
So I could see it if you say, okay, the media is here, we exist as a messaging platform, neutrally or otherwise, right? So for her, I could see it as, hey guys, I'm going to keep all of these hits.
Where'd Whoopi Goldberg go? I thought Whoopi Goldberg was on this show. Didn't we just watch Whoopi Goldberg?
We're going to talk about the hurricane the entire time. We're going to talk about the destruction like this. Let's help me get the word out for what the government's doing, what Americans need to know, and I'll answer policy questions. But the reality is we listened to something that was...
I played this video because I thought I had her clip from her on Howard Stern. I figured that would be part of the comedy tour, but we only get Whoopi Goldberg because Kamala was on Howard Stern and she was on the Who's Your Daddy podcast. They just don't want they don't want her doing fucking podcasts.
Relevant.
When I get at Wendy's, I got the motherfucking Krabby Patty, and it was not worth the carbs. I shouldn't have got it, but I wanted to try that sauce.
Seth Looks donated $20. Kamala could be on the Florida coast at FEMA HQ, and they would be mad that she was using it as photo op.
Right? That's true though. They'd be like, Kamala really needs to not politicize the hurricane. She needs to stay away from the hurricane. That's what they would say.
2 months ago, these stories are wholly inappropriate. She was chided by the 60 Minutes host for saying, look, this is the real world. What do you expect is going to happen? And all of this is occurring in a dearth of actual press conferences, in a dearth of actual information from her for policy and also for what she's doing to help.
Who's the girl in the purple? I like her style. I like her energy. I have no idea who she is. She also used the word dearth. You don't hear dearth very often. Me, I hear girth. I hear earth. I hear worth. But not often do I hear dearth. Sometimes, when I talk to my Australian friends, I even hear Perth.
Lord Magicus donated $5. The Frosty was pretty litty, though.
You know, Magicus, you motherfucker, you're part of the reason why I got the fucking Krabby Patty. I saw you eat the Krabby Patty and you didn't explain what the fucking sauce tasted like. And in my head, I'm like, I gotta try the sauce. Nobody's telling me what the sauce tastes like. Nobody's telling me. I was like, I like Dave's single. I'm sure it didn't suck, but it was just a Dave single, except that special sauce. Son of a bitch. But yeah, the pineapple Frosty looked bomb. As long as you stir it.
Help those Americans that are deeply suffering, far worse than we can even capture on media. So yes, not only is this tone deaf, it is just...
Yeah, there are people suffering really bad. And that's terrible. But Kamala ain't gonna be able to do shit for them. Go send them their fucking money. Give them their fix-up money. I couldn't live in hurricane country. That shit sucks. Like, this happens like almost every fucking year down there. How does anybody down here live in that area? I'd have anxiety like crazy. Do I think Kamala should go on Talk Tour? I think Kamala should go on Plug Talk. I think Kamala should get the fucking diesel from Adam 22 and Lena the Plug. That's what I need.
Just incredibly inappropriate, and we deserve better.
I mean, Harris, when she's out laughing on Colbert tonight and the images start to trickle in tomorrow of the damage and devastation, there will be an auto-critique of the choices she made.
Oh, it's all going. I mean, the Trump
It's already going. Don't you realize we're critiquing her right now before we even see it? We're already critiquing her. This is what this entire piece is. It's already going.
campaign is cutting ads as we speak. They don't even have to edit. They just stop. And
Cheers, Just Creed.
Talking, that ad is done. I mean, it writes itself. I do want to say I've never met Bill Whitaker at
Boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, 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 boom. I don't have my rap voice going right now. I can't rap for us all. You guys got to get my rap voice going. I don't know how.
60 Minutes. What a mentor.
Yes.
I mean, that guy, he kept
did
his
what a journalist
cool.
should do.
He leaned in, he re-asked, that's not the point. I got to get here, we got to go there, you got to answer this. It was an epic game of dodgeball by Kamala.
Goldie, did you catch a ban? Goldie, by the way, member of the channel. I will not be banning you tonight. I will not have a happy ban finger because you're a member of this channel.
Harris, unfortunately, it didn't come with any surprises of policy. I will say this, she is at risk of becoming the world's only living heart donor. I mean,
what did I miss there? I was barking. I was yapping. And now they're saying she's going to be the world's only living heart donor? I don't get it. Gonna go back.
it was an epic game of dodgeball by Kamala Harris. Unfortunately, it didn't come with any surprises of policy. I will say this, she is at risk of becoming the world's only living heart donor. I mean, that's how people are going to see her. She's joking about how she can't take care of children and how one is Paul Revere and one is Paul Revere's horse. Like, what is this woman talking about? She can't run a household. And then
To be fair, I also didn't know what the fuck she was talking about. I think she called that little kid a horse.
she brags about being able to afford to buy extra bacon.
Yeah.
Does she know how much bacon has gone up under her administration with Biden?
I think one of the most shocking points of her schedule is there are people right now that are watching TV, that are watching her, that are probably going to end up dying in this hurricane. Your job, and I go back to Katrina, and I say that because it's important. When we watched Katrina, and there were people playing politics on August 27th, 28th, 29th, and it was political. It was, we're not going to declare a state of emergency, President Bush. We're not going to send in the National Guard. I'm not going to let you have power. They were playing politics. You can't tell me that going on a Call Her Daddy podcast when people are suffering is going to help people. And more importantly than that, you cannot tell me that Kamala Harris going on late night when she should be saying to the people that are in the wake of the storm, that it's going to be coming through, get out and listen to the local authorities. Get out now.
Does Kamala got to be the one to say it? Isn't everybody saying it? Don't they have fucking cars driving through the streets, blaring speakers to evacuate? Like, I'm in Seattle, all the way across the country, the farthest away you can get from Florida, where this action's about to happen, and I know about all this shit. Does Kamala gotta say it? I feel like they're grandstanding.
She could save lives right now, but instead she's laughing.
Yeah, I think Jesse Waters said it best. People are trying to call FEMA right now, not call her daddy. I mean, that's the reality of what we're dealing with.
I thought this was the whole reason I watched this because I thought it was gonna have her Howard Stern clip on it, and it didn't. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, what a letdown! What a letdown! Let's try. You guys see this one?
From conquering the world of high fashion to meeting the man who would change the course of her life, Melania Trump offering a rare glimpse as First Lady and much more. It's all in her brain.
Welcome, Gray Alien, to the Donut Nation. Brrr. What's up, Quack? How you doing? Young Chef Neff in the chat. Boogie ignored you. My nephew tried to invite Boogie into his, was it your Minecraft server, Neff? Your friend's Minecraft server? And Boogie wouldn't go hang out with a bunch of teenage boys on Minecraft. What the hell, Boogie? Cancel him. Cancel him. This is Howard just glazed her. She was on 60 Minutes. I haven't watched any of this stuff. I figured I would pull it up and watch it with you guys, but I obviously picked the wrong fucking clips. What the hell? Somebody needs to tell Kamala to go back to the club.
Brand new self-titled memoir called Melania, which you can get a copy of at melaniatrump.com. And Melania Trump joins us now.
Melania Trump live in Fox News. RT says, Billy, what would you do if Kamala called you daddy while addressing the nation? Well, I would do what any good father would do. And I would step up and I would take care of those kids. The entire nation. I would do it. I'm a sweet boy. It's my duty. I'd be fucking Father Christmas for America. Make everybody comfortable, happy. Then I'd go out and I'd stand up to that goddamn hurricane. I'd tell it to stop. So you stop it right now. Nanobot Eddie says rap for support. Maybe we'll have to do one of those classic rap the chats. I really haven't rapped freestyled for a while. I wonder if I'd be any good at it.
Now to talk about it. I read this entire thing cover to cover last night, and you tell the people about riding in the limousine with Michelle Obama.
Does Melania have a Bible with her name on it? Is that what he's holding up? What the fuck is that black book?
On Inauguration Day, you talk about some of your battles with the press. What was something you put in this book that you've been wanting to get off your chest for all of these years that people really need to see?
Okay, I'm going to pause real quick. This is her tell-all. This is why she's on Fox News. She wrote a book. I kind of want to read it, dude. I was hanging out with my boy Martin Shkreli the other day. He told me that Barron Trump was hanging out in his Discord server, and that shit kind of cracked me up. Barron Trump, like, if you look at all the podcasts Trump went on, every time he went on them, he'd be like, "Yeah, my son Barron told me this is the place to be." Barron's a little fucking internet kid, dude. He's a little internet shitlord. Let's go. First shitlord in the White House.
Well, everything.
Everything.
Everything. I think it's a lot of misinformation out there about me. So that's why I said that I think it's the time that people hear from me and my story, my perspective, and the truth.
We're about the truth on this show. Judge Jeanine, do you have a question? You've been very excited about this interview.
Andrea Marie. We do not need to call anybody a moron. Drake saw. Drake, did you realize, Drake, you say words and you make people angry? Andrea Marie, I need you to know Drake saw is a almost 21-year-old hyper-vigilant male. Sometimes he calls people a moron, and I don't like it. I don't like it. But, Andrea Marie, I will chastise him. Drake, don't call Andrea Marie a moron. You represent this chat as a moderator. If you call everybody a moron, they're going to fucking get angry. I want everybody to be happy. Joe in real life, hands on the hottest first lady after Barbara Bush. Barbara Bush's name is like an onomatopoeia, right? Because like, if you look at that pussy, she got that Barbara Bush. You know what I'm saying? That barbed bush. You know it. You know it. Hot ass Barbara Bush. Good to see you, Joe. Seth looks says, Billy, did you hear about Bob Woodward's new book about how Trump has had at least 7 phone calls with Putin since leaving office? That's weird, right? We used to like be more connected to Putin back in the day. Like there was more. There was this dinner I watched with Putin where he was singing Blueberry Hill, and all of like the liberal actors were at this dinner. It was very fucking awkward. Very weird. Very weird stuff. Kemba says, leave my husband alone, Billy. Oh, come on. If he's going to call Andrea Marie a moron, then I'm going to call his wife a moron. You're a moron if you think I'm not going to talk shit to Drake Dragsaw sometimes. Drake's my buddy. You miss me hanging out with you. I know. Joe and I need to do something again soon. It's been too long. Too long. My good friend Joe, who literally I see all the time, but don't see very much of lately. We pass each other in the hallway all the time. Got a rap for the cause. Yeah, Drake, you can handle the heat. But I'm sorry I called your wife a moron, okay? Okay, I'm sorry. I don't think she's a moron. I think she's a Philistine. I'm teasing. I don't even know what that word means. Big fight.
I have so many questions, but I'll start with one that is clearly serious. The former president has survived 2 assassination attempts, and Kamala's camp has just issued yesterday that they're going to go more negative. The Biden-Harris team continues with the negative rhetoric, whether it's Hitler or,
whether it's Hitler. Wasn't it? I wonder who started the Trump Hitler thing, because it sure did catch on. J.D. Vance dropped it in that conversation. Who was it? Bill Murray called him Hitler. All this stuff's come up recently. Do I think Trump is Hitler? Hell no. Hell no. Trump does not appreciate art.
He's tearing down democracy. Are you worried about your husband's safety in the next 29 days?
Of course I do. Yes, I do. I think, when they call him, he's a threat to democracy. Let's ask ourselves, who is really a threat to democracy? They are ongoing with the lawfare against the former president, as well as trying to get him off the voting ballots. And
ongoing with the lawfare? Does that mean like they're charging him with laws? Like there's a warfare, but with law instead of war? Am I tripping? Is that a thing?
Trying to silence him. So, yes, of course, I was always
trying to silence Donald Trump. He gets every soundbite on the news every time he says something crazy. Like, so the one thing the media hasn't done is silence Donald Trump this entire time. They use the fuck out of him for ratings. They like playing Donald.
Afraid what can happen, and that they continuing with that kind of language is just it's a toxic atmosphere.
Jessica
Maybe I'm also not seeing Trump being silenced because I'm constantly watching Fox News.
Harold Ford Jr., do you have a question for the former First Lady?
I do. First of all, great to see you, and we're so glad that you're here.
Thank you.
When you think about some of the positive things that you experienced in the White House when you and President Trump were there, what were some of the things that made you most joyful about policy and the things that he did?
Well, he did a lot, and he took care of the military, and I really loved visiting them, actually all around the world, even when I went to in Iraq for Christmas, when I went to Walter Reed and visiting the soldiers, wounded soldiers, and also when I visited the aircraft on the middle of the ocean. So very exciting, and all the people that I met.
Do you think Melania has the thickest accent of any first lady? You think she's got that one?
Over 4 years. Really, really special. And they always, they stay with you. Sometimes you still remember them. So it's always something that I'm looking forward to it.
When Dana went to Iraq, she had a black eye. I'm very glad that didn't happen to you.
I'm the only one who got hurt in that whole thing. That's true, but I recovered. In the book, you do talk about the power of the Office of the First Lady to do good. And I think from afar, what I witnessed was
Zalander flying out in November for your birthday. Can you get an autograph on your Magic the Gathering deck box? You could be here in November in Seattle? You gonna be kicking it in Seattle in November? You wanna go meet up at the fucking card store and play some Magic at Mock's boarding house? Miss Paradox says, why would she know any of her husband's policies? Well, not even Trump knows them. Yeah, I don't think she needs to know the policies. I think that's a whole lot of, like, as a first lady, all you really got to do is be, like, someone who cheerleads for America, right? You don't have any official office. You just got to be like a cheerleader. At most, you like, take up like a charity or something. Like, wasn't it Michelle Obama that tried to kill all the fat kids? She wanted to like have an obese child holocaust. She wanted no more fat kids. That shit bothered me, honestly.
that you seemed very joyful when you were certainly around the military, but also when you were around children. And I remember early on, you went and you read.
I haven't seen Melania do a lot of interviews after being First Lady. So I thought this was kind of interesting. I kind of wanted to watch.
Read to children, and it was a special moment. And I'm wondering if former President Trump wins again.
Joe in the chat says she has a similar bone structure to a Slovakian woman I dated and fell in love with as a young man. She left me for Slovakia desk officer of the United States, Boris Ecker. Dude, this is what sucks. Joe's exes are forever leaving him for public office people. This ex left him for Boris Ecker. Another ex left Joe for Pete Buttigieg. Joe's high school bud married Pete Buttigieg. Joe, are you just a fucking psyop? Are you an agent? Why are you connected to all these people every single time? OG knows I'm just a bill. I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill, where apparently Joe is in the middle of every psyop relationship ever. Joe, are we actually CIA? Are we CIA and nobody told us? That would make sense.
I know that foster care is an issue that you care about, and it's a system that is broken. And there's a lot of organizations that help, like Selfless Love out of Florida and Texas. They're amazing. But a push from the White House could really help. Is there an issue like that or anything else that you kind of wish that you had another chance to work on?
Well, I will bring my experiences back, what I learned in the 4 years. And as well, I will continue my Be Best initiative.
You're right.
For children, for women, and also I will continue with Fostering the Future, the initiative that I established after I left the White House in 2021. And I have 2 platforms, melaniatrump.com and usmemorabilia.com, that support scholarships for
Dude, I kind of wanted to be like, and I'm bringing NFTs back.
Fostering children and fostering community. I have many students now in, so I will continue with that. And we need to give back.
Lewis says foster care chicks are wild. I don't know if you can legally say that, Lewis. Like, I'm pretty sure every kid that's been through foster care is so fucked up. They're all wild. They're all dealing with some shit that people who grew up in a solid home probably have no idea. I remember one of my buddies was in foster care, and he came to pick me up from school one day, and it turned out he had stolen his foster care's parents' car, and he was late to pick me up, and then I looked up the road, and he was in a high-speed chase, and I ended up having to get a ride home with some ne'er-do-wells that night. It was a weird day when my good friend that got caught in a high-speed chase was the better option for the ride home. What the heck, man? What the heck?
To those children and support them. So
Foster care kids just have dealt with different rules than the rest of us. I can't judge foster care kids. They had it hard. Foster care kids are probably feral. I think that's fair to say. But also, I wish somebody would have been a good dad to those foster kids. All they needed was a good dad. You get in foster care, and too many times you're dealing with people who are there to abuse you as a commodity, whether they're abusing you with actual abuse or not. Some of the best foster care situations are when the people fostering are just running up checks from each kid. And they got a household of foster kids, and it's just their way of scamming paycheck to paychecks. I don't know, man. I wish there was a better way. I kind of want to bring back orphanages. Wouldn't that be cool? If, like, I was the new Daddy Warbucks. Like, oh, it's Billy Warbucks. He's got an orphanage. And I go through the orphanage, and all the kids are like, Billy, 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 what do you bring me? And I'm like, I brought you a ton of fucking gummy worms. And I just throw gummy worms out, and they're like sitting there eating gummy worms. Like that. I think that would be a pretty cool life. Every dinner, I'd like cook a big pasta. I'm like, you guys want some pasta? They're like, yeah, Billy Warbucks, give us pasta. I should start an orphanage. One in the chat if you want to figure out how I can start an orphanage with me.
So once they have education, they could have a great job. And after that, they could...
It's the hard knock life for us. It's the hard knock life for us. Instead of treated, we get tricks. Instead of kisses, we get kicks. It's the hard knock life. Honestly, I should have... There's two things I should run. A cult and an orphanage. And I will keep them separate. But when those orphans get old enough to go out on their own, I want them to have a place to fall back on. They can join the cult then, you know? Like when they're 18, they can go out in the world, they can have their Rumspringa. And if they don't like the world, come back and fucking join the cult, dude. It'll be fine. I'll give you a farthing if you make a Discord. Joe has a Discord. I don't think it's active, but every time I log into Discord, Joe's Discord's up near the top. I see Joe's face on my Discord all the time. not to scam Joe out of that farthing. Shit, I hope I didn't just ruin the farthing.
Could give back to communities.
Mm-hmm. Greg Gutfeld.
Oh, I love the cover.
I wonder if I can get an old mansion and like a dilapidated mansion, and how many orphans I could have live in the mansion. Because some of these areas have like, I remember when Ben and I were looking in Toledo at these old mansions in the fucking broke down part of Toledo, Ohio, where he was from. They have like these huge Victorian era mansions for like $400,000. If I bought an old dilapidated mansion and turned it into an orphanage, I gotta hire people I trust to deal with these kids. Cause I don't want none of that fuck shit, dude. I would feel really bad if I started orphanages and there was like, if there was one sicko, like I would feel personally responsible for like archaic, just dark justice. I'm talking like draconian justice. I don't even like think. I don't see this ruined orphanages for me, dude. I thought I was gonna build an orphanage and everything. I'm like, man, I don't know if I can do it now, because if I find one instance, I wonder if I could get like robots to run my orphanage. I don't mind sickos running the cult, right? Because like I'm the king sicko. In the cult, if you're a fucking narcissist, if you're a fucking psycho, whatever you are, come join the cult. I will buck break you. I will buck break you. But I can't be buck breaking people at the orphanage. I need good people at the orphanage. Yeah, maybe it's, but I could do a cult, but I feel bad for the kids too. Maybe if I just hired foreign exchange students to run the orphanage, like there's no way young foreign exchange students would be sickos, right? Because like the foreign exchange students are the best that those nations have to offer, and they send them to our nation to learn from our nation. And they need places to stay. So if like every room, there's like for every 3 orphan rooms, there was a foreign exchange student. I'm really trying to build in my head how to run an orphanage correctly. I really just want to run orphanages to save the kids is all I'm saying.
Because it's black.
It's black. Like you, I was a model. And do you ever...
And I think Greg Gutfield is more of a model than a comedian.
Yeah, some magazines you probably never heard of, but they're out of business now. Yeah. Do you ever stop and think about...
I don't trust nuns, dude. I don't trust nuns. I don't like. Serafina says, I'm a teacher, Billy. I'd help run an orphanage. See, maybe that's why I just need teachers. I need people I could trust running this orphanage. What if instead of nuns, okay, watch this. What if instead of nuns, I had OnlyFans girls running the orphanage? Because they're going to like have their own areas, their own space. They can do their OnlyFans stuff like on their own time. And then they come out and they feed the kids. Because I think it's got to be the opposite of nuns, right? Nuns, I'm saying this with the purest intentions, nuns are fucked up. Nuns are fucked up. OnlyFans girls, they have their motivations. They're always going to be in demand, right? Every room will be decked out with a stream cam and everything. Stay away from, like, lock your fucking door when you're streaming. Kids ain't got to know that shit. But then come out, cook some fucking grits or something. Take the kids to the fucking yard. Take them out to the yard. Teach them how to play volleyball or whatever the fuck it is kids do. And then go back into your room and do your damn OnlyFans shit. It's got to be the opposite of nuns is what I'm saying. Nuns are like lost women who give themselves to God. I need the opposite. I need women with hope. this orphanage thing might not be the best idea. You can teach them how to deal with the fatherless. Exactly. The OnlyFans girls have fatherless behavior dealing with fatherless orphans. And I am like Daddy fucking Fridge Box. I'm Daddy Starbucks. I can just bring them coffee and teach them all how to. I'm like the. Remember Punky Brewster? You know the old man in Punky Brewster? What was his name? Mr. Nunamaker or something? He was taking care of Punky. He looked out for that orphan. I'm like him. I'm Daddy Roblox, dude. I'm not giving up on this orphanage idea, but I really need to work this out. Instead of nuns, if it was ran by OnlyFans girls, I think we're going somewhere with that. Because OnlyFans girls are all usually like, I don't know if they're even sweet. They act sweet on camera to get people's money. Maybe that's what we need. Someone who can put on a face. I don't know. Yeah, Drake saw a good point. It might need to be workshopped a tiny bit.
Your life and wonder, how did you get here? Like, you came to the United States in '96. You arrived at JFK. And then you end up...
Yeah, Mr. Nunamaker was Joe Dirt's dad. The Punky Brewster was Henry Wardemont. Was that his name? I gotta look this shit up. Punky Brewster, Henry. Punky Brewster, because I'm pretty sure the guy's name was fucking Henry. Looking up Punky Brewster, Henry. Why the fuck did I search it out in my phone contacts instead of Google? I obviously don't have Punky Brewster's phone number in my fucking contacts. Jesus Christ, man. I'm tripping right now, guys. There's something wrong with me. Get Mr. Bass to run it all as the manager? I don't know if we need that. Henry Warnemont. He was a cool old guy. He even got a cartoon character in the Punky Brewster cartoon. Like, I'd be like the Henry Warnemont, the building manager of the orphanage, dude. I'd be a good guy. Yeah, and the OnlyFans girls can relate to hard childhoods. I think this is how you build family. Everybody talks about found family and how you get like it's big in the gay community because most people are disowned by their parents and they have the found family. We got to bring this back to orphans and stuff and fatherless OnlyFans girls. I think we got something here. I have to speak this over with my manager, though. I might not be able to work this into my schedule.
In the White House. And obviously you didn't expect it, but does it ever kind of have these moments where, how did I get here?
Yeah, it's an incredible journey, incredible story, where I came from small town in Slovenia and then went to Milan, Paris, New York.
Andrea Maurice is just sounding very Andrew Tate-like, though. No. I don't want to make money off the OnlyFans girls. I want to give them the opportunity to reconnect with core values. I'm not exploiting anybody. Literally, like, the whole point of this is because I feel so bad about the orphans being exploited. And thus also OnlyFans models being exploited. And most OnlyFans models are not making heck of money anyways. They probably could use a little side gig feeding fucking grits to the orphans.
And, you never know what can happen in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know the future. We don't know what will happen next year.
Dude, Melania don't know the future. Neither do I. We got that in common.
So, here we are.
Would you have married Donald Trump if you had a crystal ball that said he would be president?
That's a Interesting question.
By the way, does he ever sleep?
He doesn't sleep much. He does, of course.
Does he wear
needs to.
pajamas?
No.
No. What does he wear when he sleeps, Melania?
He wears a boxer brief with dick hole open, and I can see his little pee-pee poke out of boxer brief all night. I can tell when it's a relatively cold day, the pee-pee hides. When it's warm, it'll poke up out of the hole. I think that's what she's about to say. I don't know. I haven't seen this before.
Well, one of the things she does get into in the book, Greg, since I've read it and you haven't, obviously, the first date.
Yes.
And how he courted you, and that courtship was very special. These are just many of the things you reveal in the book. One of those moments when Greg alluded to it, where am I? How am I here? You were in the Situation Room during the al-Baghdadi raid.
Yeah.
That must have been pretty intense.
It was amazing to experience that kind of action, really, and soldiers, they were so brave. And
I thought she was going to talk about the date. Now they're talking about the soldiers. I want to know about the first date. I think I've had enough of this Melania stuff. What about you guys? There's like 5 more minutes in it. I don't think we're going to figure out anything special. 4 more minutes. I think we're done with Melania. Thank you, First Lady, for your service. You saw a Fireball Wicked Apple commercial on my channel? What the fuck? You guys ready for an old clip? I kind of want to play this old clip. How do you guys feel about this old clip? You ever see this? You ever see this damn clip? I saw this and was cracking up. If you guys have seen this, watch it again.
In this time period, when I got a call that, first of all, you have to know that my mother was a very funny person. She and I were a little bit like oil and water. Didn't mix too well. She was a very funny person. So anyway, I got this phone call. My sister called me, and
I like how Christy Alley's like, my mother was a very funny person. Very funny person. Her and I didn't mix well. You were a star of one of the best sitcoms of all time. Cheers. I love her lack of humor.
I was in Los Angeles and said, Mom and Dad have been in a car wreck, and Mother is dead, and Dad is dying.
Okay, so she's talking about her parents dying in a car wreck. She's getting the call from her sister saying Mom is dead and Dad is dying. Holy shit, this story is already hardcore.
And I, of course, was falling apart. But all I knew was I had to get there. And I got there, and my sister and I, we were all sitting in this waiting room, and we were sobbing. And as I'm crying, I said, my sister's here, and I wasn't looking at her, but I said, where were they going? And she said, to a Halloween party. And I said, what were they dressed as?
Good pause. Good pause. So her parents were going to a Halloween party. Kirstie Alley says, what were they dressed as? Your mom died, your dad's dying. You find out they're going to a Halloween party. You ask, what were they dressed as? What's the best possible answer? What's the best possible answer? What's the best possible answer you get when you ask your sister about your dying parents what they were dressed as on their way to a Halloween party when they got in a fatal car accident? What's the best answer? Because I think we're about to get a better one.
Why would you ask this? Why would you? And she said, The Odd Couple.
The Odd Couple? Well, that's not a terribly great answer. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have played this clip. That's not anything special. I guess we should probably finish the clip, though. We're only 54 seconds into a 1 and 40-second clip.
And I said, oh. And I'm thinking, what odd couple, Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon. Well, what were their costumes exactly? She said Mom was a black girl and Dad was a Ku Klux Klan member.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Let's play that again.
A black girl and Dad was a Ku Klux Klan member. We started laughing. And the whole family, I guess, had heard this conversation, and we all started laughing. And it was the greatest tribute that you could give my mother. Do you know? And I really realized that...
Barbara Walters like, what the fuck is wrong with this bitch?
That through us, she existed. You know, she would continue. And that she had left us with this wonderful sense of humor and this wonderful ability to laugh and cry at the same time. So I felt closer to her then than I'd ever felt to her in my life.
I felt closer to her then than I ever felt in my life. Could you imagine if your parents died in a car accident and your mom was in blackface and your dad was in a Ku Klux Klan outfit? Holy shit. Holy shit. That is probably the craziest thing. That's her parents died, her mom died, her dad died in this car accident. And this isn't a fucking comedy show. This is Kirstie Alley being 100% serious. That's... They went as the odd couple. And I thought to myself, what, Walter Matthau, Jack Lemmon? What exactly did they go as? Oh, you know, Mom was in blackface and Dad was the Ku Klux Klan. What? Yeah, the EMS workers were like, this is tragic, but hilarious. Oh, my God. I saw this clip a couple weeks ago, and I had the tab open on my browser for like 2 weeks because I kept thinking I want to share this with the stream. I kept forgetting to. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, Kirstie Alley passed away a few years ago. My dad used to think Kirstie Alley was terribly attractive. He used to want to mingle with Kirstie Alley. I like to think they're both in heaven right now. And he's piping her down.
Seth Looks donated $10. The funny thing is she was asked about the new season of Cheers.
This was her answer to the new season of Cheers. Cheers is such a fucking interesting show. You get Woody Harrelson, who's gone on to be probably the best actor off of that show, right? Like, he's blowing away everybody, and he was the young little goofball. It's a good show. I grew up watching Cheers. Her mom was in blackface and her dad was in a KKK cowl, and they got in a car accident and died. What the fuck? Kooky says, I do think she's pretty, but she turned out to be pretty batshit in the end. My dad could handle her. My papa could handle her. My papa knows his way around a crazy lady. Now, this was sent in the content section of the Discord, discord.gg/BTF. It's Jack Osborne and Jamie Kennedy talking about aliens and simulation theory. I don't know how much of this we'll watch, but maybe it'll be good shit. I never watched the Adult Swim show home movies like regularly, but I definitely had it on a few times. Nano Bud Andy says rap time. Oh my goodness. You know what? Let me pause this little tootie. Let me go to YouTube. Let me type in royalty-free rap beat. Let's see if this works. I feel like this never actually is royalty-free. I feel like I always get tricked. Click the Thanos one. What do you guys think? Everybody type in funny words in the chat. I'm going to try and wrap the chat. Type in interesting stuff in the chat. Just spam the chat with interesting stuff. Was there a 90s instrumental here? Good night. Did we see a 90s instrumental? I don't know. We're just going to try and get one that's royalty free. Let's fucking... This says old school rap beat. Maybe that's it.
Retro.
Yo. Never let go. Hit him with the retro. Type it in the chat. I'll never let go. Got the bonsai. Big boy. But one time, I get more. Yo. Hit it back. I'm like the Diddy man. I diddle him. I got Ritalin. I got a little one up on the payroll. If you say so, we got the Bieber. But you can roll with me, but you ain't rolling with believers. I got the Kiefer, the reefer. I'm smoking, I'm joking, I'm token, I'm broken, I'm a delinquent. What you fucking thinking? I got the orphanage to open it. We motherfucker started talking. This beat, motherfucker started talking over my shit. Okay, take two. Fuck this beat. Fuck this pack. Smoke a different pack. Free old school hip hop rap beats, no copyright music. Let's try this one. Hey. Swing it open like a door hinge. We watching porn, so my dick turns orange like Donald Trump. I'm an honest chump when I drop a pump. Triple dose with the THC donuts. Yeah, we grown-ups, we fucking grown up. Everybody know I'm about to throw it up like it's West Side or vomit. I make an omelet about the eggs. I break a couple legs. We got real salvia hours up in the chat. I'm taking showers. My stomach's kind of fat. I got the drip from the whack pack. Smack that backpack, bitch. I got an ass crack. I stack. I got these magnets for these maggots. I'm running with the flag is. Pull the flag up the pole. A wet thingy in your ear hole. Oh no, that's a wet willy. You never get Billy. I got verbal diarrhea when I get silly. You try to see a little difference. I got the easiest, cheesiest, chunky soup pleasing it. It's got the split pea, a little drippy. We got the chowder, bring it louder like it's Crowder in a drug addiction with the mug collection. And I'm intervention and I got no protection on the 4K, 3K, what 2K, 1K, you know 3K. I'm the sumo in the car with Kirstie Alley's mama with that 3K, baby, blackface drama. I'm like Obama when I'm running for president. I'm like your mama when I'm gunning the precedent. I tear it down like your papa, buck broken. I fucking choking, I'm smoking the hurricane. The dude is lame, you heard my name. I ain't slim or shady, but maybe I take your baby and cover her in gravy. Donut gang or no bang, I hope you hang with the young fridge. I'm like the next of kin with the exorcist blessing men. Take it back to the Catholic Church till your ass to get hurt. I got the real beat, real meat eating knuckle sandwich. till I'm complete. Can't defeat like Godzilla. Number one God Grilla, I'm the killer. Roll up to your building down in Bellevue. They're gonna be hell, dude. Monosyllabic, probably drop it from the top of the mosh pit. Call me fucking Kurt Cobain. When the gun bang, bang to my brain, let it hang. With the dump trunk, big dump truck, got the dump truck booty. Yeah, I'm a cutie. I got the milk steak, Bill's great. Everybody want a piece of me like a piece of meat peacefully. You can't piece at me. Peace out. Take your fucking mouth deep down. I'm the dopest around. I go to Diddy's parties and get it hardly any harder. No hardness. I'm like Big Bill Fridge with the lardness. The largeness, the lard in my in chargeness of Charles. I got the curls and I'm gnarled and I'm wondering where the fuck I'm going, and everything I'm throwing is not knowing where it's landing. I'm like Landon Knowles when I'm passing holes in these hoes. I never know. Let it go, young Bill Fridge, old school, old fool, hold you accountable. You know, no, you don't know, you don't know, you know nothing. You don't know. No, you know nothing. Egg McMuffin. I'm like a puffin, a little penguin, dick just dangling. New beat, let it go. 2 feet, hit the street, then I roll on the road, rocking. Rocky Road, chocolate, ice cream to your throat. Got the boat, let it float. I'm the antidote, ice cream in a can of Coke. Shake it up, call it a float. Yo, let's drop it down a little bit and let it chill. Blue waffle with young Bill on the OnlyFans with the orphanage. We got porridge for the poorest kids, and we pouring it up in a breakfast dish. Make a wish, motherfucker, that's the best there is. I got the flame emoji, I ain't in toting my holding only. I'm like the motherfucking Big Bill Macaroni. Stacking homies, stacking homie. I'm macking homie, I'm stacking macaroni. Got the cheddar cheese, get with me. R. Kelly, he got the piss up on the belly and make it smelly. A splish splash till your dick rash. Gotta kick back and lick that, the big bad. Like the wolf when I'm blowing down the house. Make you ski daddle here to Seattle. The battle's out, battle's now. We got Drake up in the drag saw. We got some cake for the bag raw. I hit the pack raw. I make your dad strong. I kick your dad's paw like I was Mama Bear and drop it there and stop it where I got the helper for the hamburger, but damn murder, your man's perfect. I got a wordy worder, the scholastic assassin smashing, blasting like a pistol. Take him to the pit bull and feed a little nibble up on the Scrabble, tell it dribble. I gotta dabble with the kids when I'm Diddy Party Pickle. Alaskan pipeline, I'm tight man, I write my rhymes from the top of my dome. My domicile knows that nobody's home. The lights out, stay at where you going. I'm about to fight now. Got that big fat gash from the hatchet wound up inside that ass. I'ma smash it soon. Yeah, I be smashing poon like a cash balloon. When it pop, the money drop, that's consumed. I got the rumor schizophrenic. I'm up and down and evidentic. I'm like Batman and Bruce Wayne, a poo stain up in my underwear. I wonder where they're going. Boogie 298 probably knowing we faking that cancer. The answer to the cornies. Purple penis popping like Barney. Up in the land of Narnie. I'm going through the cabinet back wall. Hitting that back wall. Stabbing it ass y'all. I got a farthing while I'm farting on these hoes. I'm like a fucking party machine when I'm dropping the N-word. I never remember. It's like September. Wait, no, it's October, 'cause September's already over. And never know your next step is your last breath. Till the day that you die, I stack chips. I stack chips. Hey. These beats are too fucking slow. I'm about to go back and find a different one. Hey, I find a different one. Let's go and find a different one. Ayo. Ayo. Yo. I'm like a Freemason. Freebasing, the dopest drug. You need a hug. I'm like a hopeless slug under the saltiest weather. Altogether, I got pleasure from making a measure I never measured. I'm the ruler, I'm probably cooler. And how you do it like you doing, I'm the fridge, not a cooler. I'm in the freezer getting eager for some beaver. Whip out that ham bone, I'm going Rambo. Slap it like a Dumbo, elephant trunk some low. Hung low like the Dinkle Dongle done, bro. I go widow Melania and jump up in the Cadillac and driving it onto a high-speed chase. See my face, the next assassin, pussy blasting, about to get them rations out of FEMA camp smashing and start grubbing. I'm in love with some lady's husband. Now I'm hoping that I didn't accidentally admit to being gay, cause that would be pretty sweet. What if I was a queer? You could hang out by my house every day of the year. We'd have white parties and baby oil, and we'd have so much fun. We'd probably have a crab boil. I love the shrimps, getting with a pimp when I'm knocking with a limp. Got that wings wang ding dang pepperoni nipples with these lonely hoes on them tipples, cause they twisting like it's boogie. I'm like a Wookiee, call me Chewbacca, the Dundada. Got the crack babies waking up like it's midnight. If your shit tight, pass them kids a crack pipe. They smoking pumpkin spice every day of the year. No fear, we in the clear. I got Rick Morantis out here dicking grandmas and the grandpa dumps like this Donald Trump and the chocolate chunk and the Costco bakes. Got the chicken bakes is really great. I bet you not to see my faces. Boom or doom in the room full of gloom, but there's rainbows in the streets. So I go out to eat off the beat, off the salvia rip. That's just a trip when I'm blazing up the chat. I'm too fat for it to lift. I'm a hefty, heavy man smoking the leaf, and I be broken every time I know that it's me. I got the ice cream cone and some nice dreams, Holmes. I be rolling with the dopest poems like it's Edgar Allan Poe. You never know, wanna we behind, catch up with Ethan Klein like I'm Gila, this motherfucking Montezuma like a Gia. A guillotine hit the scene, roll your head off. I'm about to break some bread off. I never let go, play it like Nintendo. Dick so long, write my name in the snow. Hang low, Coca-Cola spiced, it's hella nice. I'm a former informer, but I never snitched twice. I'm at the freak-offs, getting all my sneakers kicked off. Bare feet, bitch, lick my fucking toes. I think I'm done rapping. I think I'm done with the rapping. I think I'm done with the rapping. If you guys want me to rap again, I don't know. Maybe it's got to be something like a fucking goal, because I think I've spitted. I think I've spitted enough spit. I think I've spitted enough spit for now. I think I'm done spitting. Sometimes I get in that rhythm, and sometimes it's like not hitting. $50 goal for another rap sesh. $50 goal for another rap sesh. $50 goal for another rap sesh. I'm just a silly Billy. I'm glad you guys have fun. I am insane. I'm out of my fucking mind. Oh. Okay. Let's go watch these aliens. This is a simulation and shit. With Jamie Kennedy and Jack Osborne.
Is there more alien shit than ever? Wow. Okay.
I like Jamie Kennedy's response. Jack Kennedy didn't say a thing. Jamie Kennedy's like, wow. He is hella enthusiastic.
I have this whole new...
Be honest.
Okay, I have this whole...
Blinking.
Blinking.
Okay.
All right. I have been probably putting too much energy into this and putting too much thought into it, but I absolutely believe we are in a simulation.
Jamie Kennedy's laughing. 1 in the chat if you think we're in a simulation. 2 in the chat if you think we're not in a simulation. And 3 in the chat if you have no fucking idea about anything ever.
And here, but let me explain the UFO of it all.
Okay.
I believe that this is a simulation. This is a video game.
Describe a simulation.
Okay.
Meaning, because Sean Ryan had the guy on that said he saw code in the dirt or some shit.
Yeah.
Or there's code.
There's code in like nature.
Yeah.
There's code in DNA. You can use.
It is interesting if you look at how the geometry of nature. That is pretty interesting. But it could be the DNA code. It could be the building block of, everything. It makes sense that if everything's made out of like the same basic elements.
Use DNA to store information.
Okay.
Like that's crazy.
Like binary code.
Apparently like 1s and 0 shit. I don't know. This is just what I've heard. And if you look at like the
I always love my simulation theory from somebody who says, I don't know. This is just what I heard. So everybody take this to the bank. It's fact.
What is it? The Fibonacci sequence?
Fibonacci
sequence has to do with that, yeah.
And that exists all through nature. There's a mathematical
numbers. Yes.
Everything. Numbers are everywhere.
Numbers.
Okay. So
numbers are everywhere. Maybe these guys are just too intelligent for me. Because I don't think they've said a goddamn thing yet.
Fibonacci.
I think that it is entirely possible that this is some kind of simulation. And it, to me, though, I come at it from a thing of, well, then that's proof that there is a God because someone created this.
Okay.
And I think UFOs are the watchers of the simulation. I think that that's how they interact with the simulation. And they are the watchers and the controllers of it.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so they
Whoa. Have a good night, Kruger. Thank you for hanging with us.
They dip in and out. Think about do you know what Easter eggs are in video games?
Of course.
Okay, so in Red Dead Redemption, I'm using this as an example because it was an amazing open world game. There is weird things you can do that will take you somewhere into the game and just weird shit happens. Like there's one thing where there's a black hole opens up in the sky and everything just starts shooting up to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we live in a simulation because Red Dead Redemption has a black hole?
And what if ghosts and Bigfoot and UFOs and all that are just weird codes in the game to f with us?
This is Jack Osborne. And what if aliens are just weird code in the simulation to fuck with us? I can believe that we live in a simulation, and I can believe that aliens are maybe watchers or travelers through the simulation from an other world being, but they're not there just to fuck with us. We're not supposed to know the intricacies of everything. If we live in a simulation, it's not for us to know. They're not here to fuck with us. They're here to, like, we're here. If we are a simulation, we're here because we're their entertainment. We're like their fucking alien ant farm.
Just like in Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto, where you can play just the main quests and you can be a good guy or a bad guy, or you can start going off on weird little missions and you can start go and do stuff on your own, and then it's
a game that imitates life. Like, that's what Red Dead Redemption is, an imitation of life. Like, I don't know if you could use that to say that we live in a simulation when these games are created as simulations of life.
Things start happening.
So GTA, there's the
Bob Cutler says, Billy, are you ashamed of me, of us? I'm not ashamed of anything.
main quest.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have side quests.
Yes.
That have nothing to do with the game.
No, they have to do with the game. They're just random side quests that don't really
give you points or anything.
No, you do. You get points, but it doesn't really lead to the completion of the game.
So, like, I used to love playing Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
So when Laura would go in, you would have to get your quest and your gold or whatever.
Yes.
So you're saying as she's swimming, I discover another little tomb within a tomb, like an Easter egg, that I can just do some stuff in.
Yeah.
It's just for fun that, like, the programmer put there to fuck with us.
Yes.
To have fun. So, i.e. Wes in Scream played the janitor, an old janitor, and he wore a sweater that was red and black because it's an homage to
Freddy Krueger.
That's an Easter egg for those who know.
Yes.
So the Easter egg is for the programmers to be like, hey, I don't know, Laura could wink at you. It's whatever.
Yes.
Donkey
I don't know where we're going with this. This was recommended content. I don't think they're going anywhere with this. Am I tripping? It's a tomb just to do stuff in, Revolting Machine. How many drugs is Jamie doing? Definitely weed, right? Is he doing anything more than weed, though? He just seems to be like a Hollywood weed head. Alyssa Jones says, hello, how are you doing? We're doing well. We're still trying to catch the footing of this video. I want to know where this is going. Because right now, Jack Osborne's description of why we live in a simulation is because video games play out like real life, but they're made to mimic real life. So I need some connection here really quick, Jack Osborne. Connect me.
Kong had a couple hacks. GTA, I know they sell different packages and stuff, but that's different. You're saying within the game.
Cookie 215 says, so how do I get cheat codes, though? Like, where do I enter the cheat code that just gives me all the money? What if the cheat codes aren't meant for you? What if your story is entertaining to whoever's playing the simulation because they want to see you suffer, right? How many times do you play a video game, Grand Theft Auto 5, and you run around and you beat up the prostitute? We do that in the game all the time. If we are a simulation, if we're somebody else's game, maybe you're supposed to be the prostitute getting backhanded. I don't know.
And it's San Andreas. There's side quests.
And there's little Easter eggs that are built in that just occur, and this, that, and the other.
Okay.
I think that's what a lot of the paranormal is. That's what I'm starting to believe. Wow. And I'll send you a breakdown of it, and I'm gonna do a terrible, terrible job.
Drake Drag Sauce says, I never beat up prostitutes. You're one of the good ones, Drake.
Explaining it because I'm not a physicist. I'm just an idiot. So,
me too.
It was called the double slit experiment.
Yeah, I know all about that.
Okay, so you know about them.
Want me to explain it back to you?
Sure, go for it.
Here's what it is. It doesn't exist unless being observed.
Exactly.
You're talking about quantum theory right now?
It's very simple. Let's just say protons and all that shit makes it too complicated. I shoot a gun, a bullet comes out. Okay. When the bullet comes out, it goes one way. If I close my eyes, it goes another way.
It reverses and changes how it then goes forward. It goes back in time.
Yes. Shredding Fingers cat.
Chicken Fingers cat. Schadenfreude cat. Schadenfreude cat. Shredded cheddar cheese and chicken fingers cat. Okay. This is the best conversation I've ever heard. Dude, how many more iterations of Schrödinger's cat are we going to get before he gets Schrodinger's cat? One in the chat if you think he's about to get it next. 2 in the chat if you think it's any other number of iterations of mispronunciations, or if he doesn't get it at all. 1 if he gets it next call. 2 if it's maybe damned. Because I think I'm going to put some faith in Jamie Kennedy. I think he's going to get Schrodinger because I'm about to say fucking Schwarzenegger's cat over here. He's going to get Schrodinger's cat next. Watch.
Schrodinger's cat. Schrodenfagger.
Is that?
Kind of thing.
Okay. I would have never guessed Schrodenfagger's cat. The twos were right. I eat shit on this one. What the fuck?
Schrodenfadas. You never heard this one?
No.
Put a cat in a box. So the cat's in the box. Doesn't make any noise. You walk away. It's the cat in a box.
Okay, so this is what will lead me to my next point.
If you look, is the cat going to be there?
Yeah. Okay. Rendering. When you play a video game,
100%. I know exactly where you're going.
if you're on another if there's another level, it hasn't rendered yet because you're not there.
Scope of vision is this.
Hey, can I add my little fucking brain rot theory to this idea? They're suggesting Schrodinger's cat, quantum theory, is the simulation having to render unobserved information once you observe it, right? Let's say we live in a simulation. My theory, COVID was a huge update to the simulation, and we had to go on an old server, and we had to have limited interaction because the server couldn't handle the processing power. So we were segregated. We were all kept at home. We were all quarantined while the server updated to patch what was supposed to be an end of the world scenario. The game was supposed to reach an end of the world scenario, and it was only programmed to have a cataclysmic end of the world apocalypse. But because the simulation was so popular and so beloved, and people didn't want to give up on their season 2024 of now, we had to shut down the simulation, go on an old server. We're talking the BC server, the before Christ server. So everybody was quarantined, sitting at home, not rendering while they updated the server. We had a reboot during COVID.
Everything else is black.
Mm-hmm.
It renders as you go.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see right now what I believe you can see. So I can't see behind me. But
Drake Dragsaw says, so everyone else is fake, but you, no. I think that probably 1% of the population of Earth is real.
But it rendered for you, but I'm assuming you're seeing the same thing.
And this is where things get really interesting when people start using terms like my truth and this is the truth. There is no such thing, and that I had this realization, there's no such thing as reality. There's only perspective. Because
wow. I love Jamie Kennedy's wow. I mean, this is true. There's no truth. There's no reality. Everything is perspective based. Our eyes render color. It's all reflection of light. Some eyes see color differently than other eyes. Perspective is reality towards the person, which is why whatever you believe is true to you. Your brain reacts to belief the same way it reacts to fact, even though many people's beliefs aren't fact. Many people's beliefs can't be proven as fact, but the brain reacts both to belief and fact the same. It can't, when you're thinking of something that you believe versus something that is a fact, it's the same thing, unless you don't believe the fact, obviously.
Right now, we're experiencing the same moments. We've been here for a few hours.
Redonk says, and we're literally denying reality. Based off perspective, it's true. Perspective trumps reality for every human being. Your reality, what you think is true, what you think is fact, is not everybody's reality, right? It's not everybody's perspective. If you think that your perspective is the true perspective, that's a belief system, right? You're convinced that your reality is reality, but it's from your perspective.
But my experience.
Redonk says the truth is what the facts are. If you can't show it, you don't know it. That only holds up so long. Our reality is twisted by beliefs that have no factual backup.
This is completely separate from yours. What I'll remember from here might be completely separate from what you'll remember. What I'm seeing is complete. It's the opposite of what you're seeing. So how can you tell me that, oh, no, this is the truth, this is the reality? No.
Dude, it's a rap then.
It's not, because it proves the existence of God. And that's where I find solace in it.
Or the creator.
The creator.
The
God,
maker.
Creator, whatever you want to call it.
A kid in Woodland Hills.
Yeah, on a computer in the year 3800.
What if there's not? What if there is no creator? What if this simulation only exists because it's a loop of an existence that once existed, and we got to the end of an existence and we were able to record the existence. We found a way to record it and replay it. And this is a simulation of something that did happen before. We don't know, man. We don't know anything, man. We're not going to sit back and believe in facts all of a sudden. Facts are for kids.
Wait, so I'm trying to my focus on this because I know all about the double slit, and it's basically if
I know all about the double slit, and I can't even say the last version. Schrödinger's cat.
If you don't see it, it's not happening.
Well, it's not that it's not happening. It's that it changes. It changes what it is when observed versus when it's not.
So it knows, if you want to say quantum entanglement, that we're looking at it.
Yes.
Yes, I know.
Okay, so now the James Webb Telescope. Did you see the experiment it did where it looked at the blackest spot it could find in the sky?
Yeah, Shade, there's 3 sides to every story. My side, your side, and the truth. Drake Dragsaw says, that's not the double slit. The old double slit, dude. It's like the double dick. You ever read that Redditor post about the guy that had 2 dicks? I think that was a simulation.
I just heard a new news about it, but no.
So they took the James Webb Telescope and they pointed it at the darkest patch of sky, the visible sky that we could see, and they just pointed it at it for like days just to see what it would capture. And the images that it captured of different galaxies and just the craziest shit that from a completely pitch black spot in space to me goes, okay, the simulation rendered images because it knew it was being watched.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's why
or we finally just got the technology to observe those reaches of space. Like, you could say that the universe just rendered it, but just because we haven't been able to observe it until now doesn't mean it didn't exist. Your theory could say it didn't exist because we hadn't been able to see it. It's Schrodinger's galaxies, guys.
I don't believe we'll ever truly conquer space past a certain point, and because the simulation won't allow it.
Drake Drags Us is the double slit experiment is just that what proved light behaves as both waves and particles. But didn't it also prove that the light behaved a certain way based on observation and not based on what you would expect it to operate as based off of the facts that we live in? Is the whole point of the double slit experiment is that it didn't react as we would expect it to react unobserved? It's beyond my pay grade, dude. I used to get paid to say dick and fart jokes all day.
Dude, you're like making sense. You're like,
it's really easy to make sense to somebody who's high on weed, ready to talk about aliens.
like breaking it down to like a Costco level. You know what I'm saying?
At a Costco level, let's go. What the fuck is a Costco level? Comes in a sample packet?
I appreciate that.
No, but hold on. So, because I don't want to lose my thought, is that the James Webb Telescope just said that they found twinkling city lights.
Yes.
But a city. How do you know it's a city? That's what I was laughing at. They were like city lights 7 trillion miles away.
It's Vegas, 7 trillion miles away.
That was like, what?
The Luxor.
So hold on, because what you're saying.
Yeah, the Luxor isn't covered in lights. The Luxor is a fucking pyramid, a big black pyramid. I wouldn't consider the Luxor one of the lit areas of Vegas. Am I wrong for that? Am I nitpicking now?
Saying is okay.
CT, not only do I know the Costco guys, but I love the Costco guys, and I'm excited the Costco dad is about to wrestle in AEW. The Costco dad was a former pro wrestler on the indie circuit of the fucking Northeast New Jersey indie circuit in the 2000s. They bring the fucking boom, dude. They do. Redonk knows why I threw pee on Paul. You know that pee cup was both full of pee and empty of pee, depending on when or where the pee was observed.
There's more alien than ever.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yes.
Now it could be more
Drake Drags Us is just say you don't get it, Billy. Admit it. I don't get it, but I also don't think you get it enough to explain it to me or any of these other dumb guys.
Cameras. It could be my feed. So you, just before I ask you a question, so you believe that this is, it's hard to say it's a simulation because we are in it. So we're Sims, which still is real. It's real for me. We're Westworld. We're the robots.
Yeah.
Okay. And the aliens come in.
What if I peed in the cup, threw the cup, but in between throwing the cup and peeing in the cup, I drank the cup? Think about it.
Is it Easter eggs to with us or cops?
I think it depends. I think it depends on what their role is. They can be observers.
A Big Justice feature. Let's go. Big Justice and me on a chicken bake all day long.
They can be fixers.
To be referee the joint.
Referee it. They're the producers.
The only reason I like to subscribe to simulation theory is because then I could believe that my entire life struggling with obesity was just some kid playing the simulation who thought it was funny to watch me get fat. That's like the one soothing thing about living in a simulation, knowing that this wasn't under my control ever.
Okay. Sky there?
Sky, what, like, is the planet, like...
Do we hit, is there a firmament?
Oh, yeah. No, there's like, do we have an atmosphere? Is it, like, something beyond?
Will a rocket hit a ceiling, in your opinion?
Not in a way that we will ever be able to reach. That's because the limitations in the coding of the speed of light. When you start getting into like the physics of stuff and like nothing can travel faster than the speed of light because then it starts then you get time dilation, you get all sorts of weird shit starts happening. And that to me proves that the system, the coding in the system creates limitations. Like it doesn't want us to go there. It's like you can't go from playing Red Dead Redemption and go into Call of Duty.
Because that game's not plugged in.
It's not. Even if it's all on your computer, you have to turn that game off and put another one on. You can't just leapfrog into it.
Okay.
They can't run at the same time, and you can't.
So you're saying, okay.
Unless there was a dimensional merge, aka Quickville, aka an update where all the other running games processed within ours, making Christine Weston Chandler not only a prophet, but the prophet, the second coming, the dimensional merge.
What I think.
But what are the aliens ghosts? Are they all in the same family?
No. And
Bigfoot, they always say is an alien.
But what if Bigfoot is literally just programmed into this to with us?
That doesn't make sense.
Why not?
Because it's just like
no. All the other shit you said, I was like, wow. But Bigfoot being programmed to fuck with us doesn't make sense, dude. I like what hill he's willing to die on over this conversation.
The guy's laughing. He's like, hey, I got this big man. Because $6 Million Man, they said Bigfoot, and they timed him in with alien-esque stuff.
No, I think
Bigfoot's just like here.
No, Jamie. You don't get it, Jamie. When simulation theory is here, Bigfoot is there just to fuck with us, Jamie. You're wrong. I like the argument in all of this.
Make these people think all day about a Bigfoot.
Sure.
Literally a kid laughing at us.
But also look at it like this: the simulation.
Are you 100% in on simulation?
I'm not 100% on anything.
Are you 90%?
Probably 80.
Okay, where's Sharon?
I like the math. Probably 80. I would say 80%. It's like when a kid is like, how much money would it take for me to buy your parents' house? The kid's like a bajillion dollars. You couldn't buy my parents' house unless you had a bajillion dollars. It's like, well, I'm going to get a bajillion dollars. I'm going to buy your parents' house. I'm going to kick your parents out. I'm going to become your new dad. I'm getting a bajillion dollars.
When I talk about it, she looks at me like, what?
Well, and Kelly's going, Kelly goes, what does that have to do with the Gap?
I looked at Kelly the other day.
Kelly thinks you're from Xenon.
She does.
She also thinks I'm your neighbor on Xenon.
But like, I looked at Kelly the other day and I told her, I was like, there's no such thing as reality, only perspective. And she was like, what?
She got annoyed because it affected brunch.
Like podcast. But so I just think it makes sense to me.
Okay,
I do put more value in perspective than reality. I don't value reality. Whether you say that there is no reality or whatever, I'm not going to argue it on that level, but I do think that the value of perspective is more important. And I think when you're stuck trying to connect with people through reality, you're wasting your time, you're wasting their time. If you can connect through them through perspective, that's the divine manipulation. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm young Bill Fridge, and I will be starting the OnlyFans orphanage of divine manipulation, where we will meet on perspective, not reality. The reality of the matter is that the realty checks will clear because the perspective that you get from the OnlyFans models and their perspective of their fatherless behavior raising the fatherless orphans at the orphanage of Big Billy Father Time, the only outcome will be a better perspective for all involved. Amen. Hallelujah. That's the reality of the matter.
So, all right, you're just saying these are games. They're games.
If I put an Oculus on you in 20 in 2001, if I gave you an Oculus from 2024 and put it on,
I'd be like, what
you
the
would
fuck
go,
is this?
What in the fuck?
100%.
So what if we're in an Oculus that a civilization 5, 10,000 years more advanced than us has created? And
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, like this is...
Yeah, I'm with you. When you put it like that, when you put it like 2001 Oculus to 2024 Oculus, I'm totally with you.
This is the reality.
If you just gave a person a can of Hormel beans in the 1200s, it'd freak them out.
Yeah, fully.
Dude, if I ever become a time traveler, I'm literally going back to the 1200s with a can of Hormel beans just to see what happens. Like, that is the best bit in the entire world. I actually want to become a time traveler just to do that. I don't care about anything else.
So I understand that theory, but so where's Bluebeam in on this?
Bluebeam?
Yeah.
What's Bluebeam?
Dude, how am I telling you this shit?
Like Project Bluebeam?
Sunshine Darkside says, I do OnlyFans to feel pretty. Okay, Sunshine Darkside, as an OnlyFans worker, if somebody who had altruistic vision wanted to start an orphanage, you as an OnlyFans worker, would you feel comfortable living in the orphanage, doing your OnlyFans stuff privately in your own locked room, but during the day you go out and you play fucking volleyball with the kids and feed them porridge as like a rent reimbursement? I don't know how much money you're making in OnlyFans. Imagine this is back when you weren't making a ton of money, but you had aspirations. You'd still be able to feel pretty, but also you'd be able to help fatherless kids have a more stable life. Am I out of my fucking mind for suggesting that earlier? I thought it would be a good deal to man a orphanage with OnlyFans models. I might be tripping. Nobody could speak on it from the point of view of an OnlyFans model. You make nothing off OnlyFans. It's free. See? Wouldn't you love to do that and also feed kids porridge and play tiddlywinks or whatever during the day? Wouldn't that, or am I tripping? Is that like the last thing OnlyFans models want to do? I figure they would want to have like some sort of nourishing fulfillment in their life with the youth. And then at night, make their money in the night.
Nuts or...
But I would help the kids. See, I think OnlyFans models are good people that would help kids. I think it's a good thing.
Are you losing it?
Project
Ill-minded says, pretty scuffed idea. It's the scuffed ideas that break the mold. I'm trying to break the box here. Sticky says, I don't do OnlyFans, but kids are gross. No thanks. See, there's a lot of people that think kids are gross. And I don't want them working at the orphanage, whether they're OnlyFans models or not. But I don't want people working at the orphanage that think kids are, like, no sicko thinking either, you know? This is why it's so hard to run an orphanage these days. See, Sunshine Dark's main job is helping disabled kids, actually. See, I think there was something going on in my head where I knew there was a nurturing aspect to these OnlyFans models that is just waiting to get out. I think there's some there, guys. Back to the simulation.
Project Bluebeam?
Yeah.
Okay, Project Blue. Remind me what it is again.
Project Bluebeam is, here's the theory on Project Bluebeam. I'm honestly proud of myself. Either I've gone full Randy Quaid, and I love you, Randy, or you're just losing a step. Okay.
Maybe I'm losing a step. I know I've heard it.
Okay. Dude, you're the king. Okay.
I know.
Here's Bluebeam. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not familiar with Bluebeam. I don't know if anybody in here is familiar with Bluebeam. But I do know there's no way Jamie Kennedy, based off of everything else he said, is going to explain this correctly. So I am so here for it.
Divide and conquer. You're aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's going on. 4 pillars of society going down. It's happening. If this election happens, who's going to accept the results?
Mm-hmm.
So probably mass chaos, right? While you're building your hut somewhere. Ushering in, no one can govern for themselves. They're all crazy. Here's the big theory. AI, right? We don't need the worker bees. My theory, the planet's already built out. We don't really need the worker bees much. So we got to thin the herd. Agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
AI can do the rest until it comes up to snuff. Then they don't really need anyone. So it's just literally who's friendly with the powers that be to let us hang around. Bluebeam comes in as a hologram, a world scare to basically
unify the planet.
NWO.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, guys? We're not Nigeria and West Hollywood are no different. We're all in the same rule because we got to figure this out.
Yeah.
We're fighting something bigger than
There's
gender,
fucking aliens
race.
and-
Yeah, so we all got to.
Yeah, I don't think Bluebeam is any more efficient than BlackRock. BlackRock is already doing this better than sending down a fucking AI Jesus or AI spaceship to connect the world. We connect the world right now through hate. We get one side to be angry at the other, and then the fucking New World Order divides and conquers and is prolific. The Project Bluebeam is like say that they false flag aliens and then the whole world comes together like it's a fucking the Independence Day movie where all the world comes together to defeat the aliens. That's what the Project Bluebeam is.
And that's the con. The game is that's the con to get us to all like basically register our butthole. If that makes sense.
It's a great
to get us all to register our butthole. Everybody's already registered their butthole. Everybody went out and got the vax. The anti-vaxxers who didn't get the vax just show whose butthole needs to be taken by force. We don't need Bluebeam to register our buttholes. The majority of us are ready to go butthole first into the future.
Pretty good theory.
It's a great theory.
It's pretty good
And
theory.
for me, if it does happen, I'm like, more proof that we're in a simulation.
Okay. Well, it's just that the powers that be go, this whole thing is now New Jersey or whatever we want to call it. We're all connected.
Yeah.
And we're ruled by one thing.
We are already ruled by one thing. There's like small areas of the world that don't subscribe to our banking system, and they are oppressed to shit. Hannah, how you doing? Good to see you.
And Bluebeam is the fear of the world terror.
Yeah.
I mean, you could also put a Satan in there. People say I talk about Satan.
You could put a Satan in there. You could put the Gathering of the fucking Juggalos in there, dude. You could put a furry in there. Everybody has their distractions. Everybody has what they follow and love.
Too much. Put another worldly being.
But okay, more about the simulation.
Seth looks says our whole economic system relies on a growing population to fuel increased spending. What are the rich in power going to do after depopulation? Yeah, depopulation is bullshit. Population is how all societies work. It gets to a point where population no longer benefits a society as society reaches its maximum growth point, and then it just deflates and exists. It's like, I don't believe in this depopulation bullshit. But also, I don't believe in anything because I'm too cool to believe in anything. I just believe that you should put the fries in the bag. You know, revolting machine.
Simulation. It's like, you've got all these religions that are, that have their thoughts and opinions on these divine beings.
Yes.
Sent from God. And what if they're just the creators dipping into the game to go, hey, check this out.
Okay. You've gone down the rabbit hole, which is incredible. And I don't want to lose my thought with this because, I just did a movie called Portal in the Pines, which I'm really excited about, but I don't know, my lawyer's not talking to me about it. And it's basically how I think that's kind of a thing that I'm seeing a lot of lately. Portals.
Mm-hmm.
In Sedona, there's a girl that would loves you.
The Sedona portals. This is, man, I really, really, really wish I could become a grifter. I think I would be such a good grifter. Like, the only reason I want to start a cult or an orphanage is to help people who need help. I don't want to do it to take advantage of anybody. But I know that inevitably somebody within the system is going to take advantage of the people that I congregated to protect, and we don't live in a world where I can just kill people. Because if you try and harm my people, I have to kill you. I can't allow you to harm my people. That's why I can't have people. Because I would immediately become a tyrant. If you fucked with my people, you'd be done. This is why I have to stand alone. Or else I'd be a murderer. And I did try the Wendy's Krabby Patty. It was, it was an okay burger, but it wasn't anything special. The only thing special about it was there was SpongeBob. I just want to start an orphanage, man. Joe's thinking of moving to Sedona. Are you going to go to those fucking vortexes, Joey? Are you about to get your vortexes on? Sedona is beautiful. It's a beautiful place to be. Wolford, nice to see you too. See, I knew the Krabby Patty at worst was going to be a Dave single. And I'm the type of guy that loves Dave single. I wanted to know how badass that sauce was going to be. Like, what if I bit into that sauce and it was the most zesty, mouth-watering, like, I could have bit into that fucking Krabby Patty sauce and it would have been like the Szechuan sauce that everybody went crazy over. And then one day it would be gone, and 20 years from now, I'd be like, man, I miss that Krabby Patty sauce. But it wasn't like that. Chemijix is like, I don't know what kind of thought process goes into, yes, orphanage. Helping the kids. Are you serious? Do you not understand? Do you not understand that I believe in myself like more than most Christians believe in Jesus? Do you not understand that? Like, I believe in myself the way the average Christian believes in Jesus Christ, okay? But the above average Christian, a theologian of the highest caliber, believes in Jesus the way I believe in myself. So of course I'm going to think I can help foster kids who have are in a bad system, and I can save these kids. But then at some point, it's going to get corrupt. I can't be there for every foster kid, you know? Joe, the idea is I start an orphanage and I get OnlyFans girls to work the orphanage. They're allowed their space to make their content. And then they go out in shifts and they play with the kids and they make them fucking porridge and grits and shit. They make them soup, whatever the kids, need nourishment. And they go out and they play with the kids. And these kids have these big sister type characters in their life that are giving them giving both sides of the table a little bit of a found family feel, And the idea would just be Catholic nuns didn't do a good job. So we have to go to like another realm. And I think that maybe the counter to Catholic nuns would be OnlyFans girls. And there's always going to be more and more e-girls. Maybe they're not always OnlyFans girls. Maybe they're Twitch streamers. They do their Twitch streams or whatever, then they come out and they feed the kids. Kemajack says, why do the OnlyFans girls need another job? Because these girls aren't going to be successful. Most of these OnlyFans girls are not successful. Okay, most of them are trying, and that tells me that they're fatherless as well, and they're orphans as well, and they need a place to feel at home. And they're not just there to help the kids, they're kind of there to help themselves, to find out where they're really at. But I can't trust just anybody at these places, because these kids are vulnerable. So I'm trying to figure out a system. And Hannah asked, why do you not already have a cult? And that was another part of the system, was that while I had the orphanage, I would also start a cult completely separate of the orphanage. And when the kids are done, when they're 18, they can go out into the world, or they can come join the cult. I don't know. Seth Looks, you have a good night, brother. I think I might be in the stream too. I'm trying to find a way to help the kids, man. It's a place of healing, exactly, Shade. It's a place for people to feel comfort and to feel belonging and to grow in a place where they're not struggling with existence and turmoil. Where it's like a broken hearts club. We're making better people is the plan. Yeah, it's like a perfect place. The plan is to make better people. I just have to figure out a way to sicko-proof it. And I think if I'm just allowed to kill anybody who fucks with my people, it'll be fine. Because you can't fuck with the kids at the orphanage and get away with it, you know? It's got to be like prison rules when it comes to that. Maybe I could have a child army within the orphanage. And there could be like a child army that if there's one sicko around, the kids get together and just stab him. Because they can't be tried as adults, right? This is the problem with helping people. It gets so complicated. The cult would definitely stay separate from the orphanage. We make a mafia. See, it could be like a mafia. I don't know. It's so complicated, but I feel like the base necessities are there. We need a world where foster kids are given hope. This all started because I think it was Lewis in the chat said foster chicks are wild. And I'm like, yeah, no shit, they're fucking wild. They grew up in the foster system. Sticky says this idea is definitely getting increasingly illegal. What do you think? The talk of capital punishment is illegal? I literally said it has to be legal for me to partake in capital punishment, or else it's kind of a waste of time. I don't know. This is the problem with Utopia, right? Good night, sunshine. Thank you for stopping by. Damn it. Stabby McHugs, how you doing? Good to see you. This stream is definitely not long for this world. See more Jamie Kennedy, Jack Osborne simulation theory, giving kids hope and shivs. I think, okay, if it's one part orphanage, one part found family, one part OnlyFans, lost fatherless, one part fatherless women, orphanage, and one part child army with shivs. I think it might be doable. Basically, I want to be like, this ain't your daddy's orphanage. And then all the orphans be like, we don't have dads. Like, true. Well, I'm Daddy Roblox. I'm Daddy Fridgebucks. I'm Daddy Starbucks. I don't know. There's definitely some thought that has to go into this.
Shout out Helen. She loves you. And,
Cool. Hi, Helen.
And she wants to go on a hunt, but she's been hipping me to portals.
Mm-hmm.
And Sedona's a big spot, Chile. And so if that's the game or whatever. And the movie is about in the pines, there's a portal and there's another dimension.
Mm-hmm.
A la CERN, you know what CERN is. You know what CERN is.
Yeah.
So Portal in the Pines, the character, he really says some amazing shit. I play a paranoid guy, surprise. And he talked
I play a paranoid guy, surprise.
about IDBs, interdimensional beings.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not even over that right now.
No, I am, because I think it's a whole part of it. But
that you're just going to lump them all in this.
Yes, and it might be a way of just kind of just saying the same thing, but
I think there's a big point of privilege when you can sit around and think that we live in a simulation. Like simulation privilege is a real thing.
I think.
Okay, RTRT says orphanage cults does sound pretty illegal, Billy. I told you the orphanage and the cults are completely separate. What the hell? And the kids aren't going to be working in the mines, okay? The kids, this is what the kids are going to be doing. They're going to be growing into strong, independent, confident human beings. I'm basically taking these children who are left in the world with no place to truly be free and stable, and I'm giving them the stability and freedom of mind and direction so that one day they could grow up as narcissistic as me.
In order for something to get to Earth, right? An alien spaceship.
But if it's a simulation, this isn't even a physical place.
And therefore that you can hack the code. So what if
Well, yes, if it's not physical, then you can hack the code.
there's a code to the galaxy that we just don't know is there. We don't know how to hack into it yet, but we can eventually, and that will allow us to just go boop, blip, and I'm in a different part of the universe or the galaxy, or a different version of the game being played.
Did you see Infinity War?
Yeah.
Did you see when half of them disappeared?
Mm-hmm.
Did you think that was predictive programming?
I thought that was a really cool. I thought it was cool.
I thought it was very deep.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot more deepness in those movies than people realize, in Marvel movies. So, and I thought there was something to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I also, because you're talking about Earth floating in this place. This is all I want to say. Here's what I discovered the other day. Because you're basically saying aliens aren't flying around. Okay. I got to get to death, but before I do.
Okay, sure.
I had this conversation with Alyssa, and she's like, well, I wish that it would happen different and this happened different, you know. She wants her own little things. And I'm like,
this is 5 days ago. This was uploaded. It's got 4K views. I wonder if this is a part of a longer interview or if this was just 23 minutes with Jack Osborne.
You know, Christopher Nolan is more brilliant. Why he's a scientist in his movies, because in Interstellar, the thing that was really hard to watch at the end is not a movie. It's actually science.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually on it. His movies all have a bend in reality in them, from the one with Leo to that one. Like McConaughey was looking at himself in
the end of Interstellar, where everything breaks down. That scene in Interstellar was surprisingly reminiscent of the Salvia trip that I did on stream. And in my mind, when time started pausing and splitting, the splitting of time reminded me a lot of that Interstellar scene. And then for me, it was like a ticking clock where the moments of time were pausing within themselves and kind of kaleidoscoping in a ticking clock until it filled my entire viewpoint around in a clock-like circle, and filled my entire viewpoint with paused frames of time. And then I found myself back in the 80s for a second. And when I realized I was like in the basement of a house that I visited in the 80s, I rebooted back up into present time. If we were in a simulation, the Salvia did disk boot my my hardware. It rebooted my hardware and knocked me back in time a little bit until I was able to reconnect to the present. It did remind me a lot of that Christopher Nolan scene, which I saw after the Salvia trip. I didn't see Interstellar until last year, I think. Maybe earlier this year.
Different timelines. And that's actually been proven. So imagine you and I this is what I was trying to tell her, because she was like, well, if I made this decision and we're talking, that's what it is. I said, so you and I are let's say we're just floating, okay? And it's kind of like string theory, but I call it tube theory. So let's just 10 timelines of your existence. Okay, so I was doing me and her, and I go, if you look at a tube like this, think of a poster tube that's clear, and you can see all of the footage.
It's like string theory, but I call it tube theory. Well, yeah, you call it tube theory, but I actually call it sausage theory. And sausage theory really isn't that different from anus theory. See, anus theory is the theory that the tube between our butthole and our lips is the same tube. So really, we are just one long sausage casing.
A pixelated TV, and each one is different parts of your life. And there's 10.
Macon says, I can't tell when you're being serious. I'm almost always seriously unserious.
Versions of that, and you're out there looking at it. I said, I believe time is that you can take this one from the 80s, and I'm not living on a timeline. I'm in that game that you're saying, but if I could get out of it, I could then go back, because I still believe that the 80s is still there. And I'm just in this part now. Does that make sense?
If we're in a simulation and my Salvia trip was what I thought it could have been, a reconfiguration, me sending me back to the 80s, and the 80s do still exist, because I literally went back to the 80s for like a second during the Salvia trip. But it could have just been triggering a memory or something. I could have had like a very lucid memory. It was just weird stuff.
Yeah. So you're talking about
it's an actual
multiple timelines existing at the same time.
But just think of time as a tube of actual, let's just call it a piece of tubing.
Yeah.
And that is still going on. And since there's multiple versions of me. So that there's the watcher of me describing this right now of me is watching me do this. I believe that. And I'm still in the 80s playing Atari in one. I'm over here at the screen premiere right now. I'm also in Australia filming Son of the Mask. My sister just gave me a wedgie in the kitchen in the 79.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of believe.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the that starts getting into the multiverse, like there.
But that's real.
Yeah.
So my question is, if AI can figure this out, you're getting closer to your thing. So if we tap into that, then I don't know where we're at, because I don't know what death is.
Well, I think everything is an exchange of information, right?
Yes.
Think of it like when you eat something. That's an exchange of information. You're putting something into your body, and your body is digesting it, but it's breaking apart what that is, and there's coding in that, if you think of it in that way. And I think just...
If you think of coding as the breakdown of cells and elements that create, yes. We're all cellular concoctions. We're all coated with biological material.
Society.
We're all in Billy's simulation. What if the world was made of trapezoids? Shade, you can't ask those questions. This is the type of thing that will keep me up all night long.
Well, I don't even know what it. I forgot what physics law or whatever. But energy can never just disappear. It has to.
Can be not created nor destroyed.
Exactly.
Cannot be created nor destroyed. Roses are red. I'm going to bed. I'm about to go to bed too. We're gonna finish out this Jamie Kennedy. It's got like a fucking minute and a half left.
It exists.
It just exists, and it just turns into something else.
Yes.
So we are energy. We have so much energy in us. We don't just turn off. It goes somewhere. We go into another game. We go into base. We then enter base reality. We wake up a la Matrix in a pod being used as a battery for a robot. Like,
so my sister thinks you go into a box.
No,
it's not happening.
Absolutely, totally disagree with that.
Academic.
There is 100% something after this, in my opinion. That I'm 100% on.
That I'm 100% on.
I don't know what that is.
Womp womp.
Dude, I'm so into that The Matrix was a documentary.
Yeah.
And I believe those two directors, they're two
women now.
The two sisters.
Yeah.
Were brothers.
They're two sisters who were brothers. They were the Wachowski brothers, then the Wachowskis, and the Wachowski sisters. This is the fucking Matrix.
I don't know if I want to say that. No disrespect. Two sisters. I don't know. I think that's just like a bigger thing. Like, I don't know how that story just came to them. Or it was,
well, they kind of stole the story from a fucking anime, right? The whole fucking thing existed before them. They ripped the fucking shit out of it.
Because it's so almost provable.
Philip K. Dick was the first person to propose the notion that we're in a video game. You know that?
No.
Yeah, Philip K. Dick.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't do The Matrix. He did Blade Runner.
He did Blade Runner, Total Recall, and many more.
Well, there you go. That's that. I am going to let you guys go because I have to piss like a fucking racehorse. I am not even joking. I'm going to explode. Thank you guys for hanging. Thank you for watching. Everybody have a very good night. Great to see you. Bye-bye. Thanks for stopping by.